أرورا أكاديمي، عنوان للتميز. أرورا.
Good evening. Today we are going to talk about the relative pronouns. What are the relative pronouns? When do we use them? اليوم راح نتحدث عن أدوات الربط. ما هي أدوات الربط ومتى نستخدمها؟ We use the relative pronoun to join two sentences to make one sentence. نستخدمهم حتى نعمل من جملتين جملة واحدة. What are the relative pronouns that we want to talk about? They are who, which, that, whose, when, and where. Let's start by who. When do we use who? We use it with persons. نستخدمها مع الأشخاص، مع العاقل. To join two sentences, to make one sentence. Let's see, I'll learn it by example. I saw Ahmed. He lives in the USA. There are two sentences. I want to join it together by using one of the relative pronouns. We use who because we are talking about persons. أنا بتحدث عن أشخاص. استخدم who. I saw Ahmed who lives in the USA. Another example by using which. Which we use it with things. تحدث عن الأشياء عن غير العاقل. I bought a car. It was a Mercedes. There are two sentences. Join it together. I bought a car which is a Mercedes. That. We use that instead of who and which. We can use that instead of who in the first sentence and which in the second sentence. نستخدم that بدلا من who or which في كلا المثالين اللي أخذناهم. Let's talk about another pronoun. Whose. We use it with possessions. نستخدمه مع الملكية. We should notice that it preceded by a noun and followed by a noun. يجب أن نلاحظ بأنها تسبق باسم وتتبع باسم. I visited a man whose son is my friend. I visited a man whose son is my friend. زرت الرجل الذي ابنه صديقي. We use whose because we are talking about position عن ملكية. نتحدث عن الملكية. Where. When do we use where? When we are talking about place. عندما نتحدث عن المكان. I visited the town where I was born. I visited the town where I was born. لقد زرت المدينة التي ولدت فيها. It was the year when I was born. Here we used when we want to talk about time. عندما نتحدث عن الوقت. إنها السنة التي ولدت فيها. It was 1974 when I was born. These are the relative pronouns that we want to talk about. I want to give you an extra examples to differentiate between whose and who. Listen carefully for these two sentences. That man whose hat is blue is my father. Listen carefully. That man whose hat is blue is my father. هون استخدمنا whose. It is preceded by a noun and followed by a noun. The same sentence, use it with who. We will use it with who. This is the man. أو that man, sorry, that man who is wearing a blue hat is my father.